All right, welcome to session 8 of using Office 365 groups for CIS 3900 final project collaboration. Um, uh, this session is kind of part 2 of using the group OneDrive. So in part 1, we talked about how to find the group OneDrive, how it's different from the individual student OneDrives, how you can upload files there, and that other members of the project team automatically can see the files and access the files and download the files and all that sort of thing. So in this session, we're going to talk about how Microsoft Office applications are integrated into OneDrive, including the group OneDrive. And we're going to talk about how students can edit and create and view project-related files in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Visio, and other web apps that are built into Office 365. And then while this does include the desktop, mobile, and web versions, in this session, we're going to specifically kind of focus on the web versions as we learn how to do this. And then we'll expand the conversation in the next session to the desktop apps. And then in the final 2 sessions for the for this curriculum, I'm going to go into mobile access and all of that. So with that being said, the goal of this one is that we'll learn how to view, create, and edit project-related Office documents in the Group OneDrive web portal. So creating an Office document in the Group OneDrive is basically, it's done directly in the portal. So from the group OneDrive, you click the new menu in the drop-down menu, you click one of the Office links, and then the document's created for you and all of that. So we're going to walk through that process. So remember in the last session, what we did was simply come in here and look at the group OneDrive and look at the group OneDrive here, and if you'll remember, I uploaded this document. So creating, documents or adding documents to the OneDrive is as simple as, uploading them, right? So I've got a document selected in here somewhere. There we go. So there's an upload function, and so when I did that, I just uploaded it, and that's fine, right? So you can absolutely create a document in OneDrive that way. By uploading it, but you can also create the documents directly, right? So here's an option to create a folder. So you'll notice here that I've got 3 folders: the project docs from Moodle, where we uploaded the documents that Dr. Perez Mira provided to us, so that we would have those in a convenient place. And then there's email attachments, which is a special folder that I'm not going to go into here. And then archive files is a place where we put stuff that, for one reason or another, we didn't need anymore. So in this case, we had a file that we had a use case that was done, and then we redid it, and so we archived the old one just in case we ever needed it again. So if I wanted to create a new, let's say, Word document right here in the OneDrive, then it really is as simple as clicking New Word Document, and then the Word Online application is started, right? So, and it works just like, if you're used to using Word on a PC or a Mac, it works the same, right? This is the Microsoft Word word processing tool. You can, do headings, you can change fonts, change color of the fonts, change your page layout, make this thing landscape instead of portrait, all of the things that you would expect to be able to do. Now, there are some limitations, right? So, for example, Microsoft Word has a very sophisticated capability of doing mail merges and document references and just lots and lots of functions. Well, all of those functions aren't built into the online editor. It's basic, document editing and everything, but it does, as you saw, have the spelling and grammar and a bunch of other things. You can insert comments. You can add tables. There we go. I've added a table. Lots of different items. And that's ultimately how you finish, I mean, how you, create documents online. So the interesting thing about this is you're probably used to clicking file and then clicking save, right? To save a Word document or an Excel document or something like that. So the interesting thing is because it's online and because in these apps you can work simultaneously in the same Word document with other users, and you want to be able to see those changes as they're happening, then the file is saved automatically, right? So when I go out of this file, that new file that was created, so let me sort by created by here so we can see it. What happened to my file? Oh, right there, document. So you can see, I'm sorry, this one right here, document1.doc. See, I created about a minute ago. You can see that when I go back into it, it's saved automatically. You do not have to, again, you don't have to save that file in Word online. Same with Excel online, same with PowerPoint online. They are saved, files are saved automatically. So, once the files have been created or uploaded, as we discussed in the last session, there's built-in these apps like, let me find the PowerPoint here, right? So like the PowerPoint viewer is built into the OneDrive for Business. So I don't have to actually just see the contents of this PowerPoint. I do not have to download it. As a matter of fact, I can even present directly from OneDrive. I don't even have to download it to do the presentation. You can see down here that I can go back a slide, go forward a slide, and kill the presentation mode. So it allows really quick access to this. I can also print this thing to a PDF and that sort of thing. If you'll notice right now I'm in read-only view. So if I want to actually edit this presentation, so I can click Edit in Browser. And what's going to happen is it's going to open the PowerPoint web app in edit mode. And then just like I was editing the Word document in this PowerPoint document, if I wanted to become a GLAF partner with exclamation point, for example, there you go, right? So I can edit the document right here and there. Just like Word that we went over a moment ago, all the file changes are saved automatically. So the viewers are right here. The last thing that I want to talk about is getting a link. So often what you'll need to do is, create or upload a file into OneDrive the first time. And then once you get that file in a particular state and you want to, others in your team perhaps to review that file, right? So I've just created a use case diagram and I would like other folks on my team to, review that use case diagram. So as I mentioned, everybody in your project team can automatically, they automatically get access to the group OneDrive and they can open the files you upload or create and all of that. But how do they know which specific file you're talking about? I mean, you could give them the name, you could say, remember it's in the OneDrive, all that kind of thing. But there's a really simple way to send someone a link to the file, right? And so here, if I wanted to send someone a link to, let's say I want to send my group, a link to this particular document. So I can drop down here and there's an option to get a link. So there's a little drop down menu here. There's a view link, which basically, I can send to someone and they can view this file regardless of whether or not they're in my group. So even people outside my project team, if I send them a link, if I say create a view link, and I send it to them, they can view it. It's basically, it kind of bypasses permissions, if you will. But it can only be done from that link. And then there's an edit link as well, same thing, right? So they have to be a Northwestern State University student or faculty to edit it, but they don't have to be a member of my group. So what I really want to do most often though, is basically just get what's called a restricted link, which just a link to the document, but you have to have permissions to to the document or to the OneDrive already in order to be able to see it, right? So my team already has, as I mentioned a couple of times now, already has access to it. I just want to send them a link to it. So I choose restricted link. I basically do a copy of that link, and then I go over here to my email, and then I can just, I go to my email, and then I can basically say, to the CIS 3900 group 4, new file for project, and then I basically paste that guy in there. And when they get that, this is going to go to the entire, everybody in the group. If they're subscribed, remember it's going to go to their inbox as well. It's going to go to the group inbox by default, and then if they're subscribed, it'll go to their inbox as well. And once they get this link, they can click on it, and then when they click on it, it's essentially the same as clicking on it from here, right? So they're going to get this online view of the document, right? And then if they want to edit it, they can do all the things we talked about before. So that's a really easy way to share a specific document via a URL link with your project team members. You can also use those links to put in project plans and put in calendar invites for meetings. All sorts of things can be used. There's an attachment type that we won't go into, but if you look at some of the links I provided that Microsoft goes into more detail, called a cloud attachment, which kind of does this same thing all in one. So basically, you could attach a file just like you were going to attach any other file in Outlook. But one of the options is do a cloud attachment. And what happens is it puts a link to the file rather than the actual file. So you don't get multiple copies stored in people's inboxes and everything. But again, that's kind of an advanced topic. For now, what I really wanted you to get out of this is, how do I view, create, and edit project-related Office documents in the web portal? And then, how do I get a link to that so I can send it to, so I can send a link to that file that I created or uploaded to the rest of my team members. So hopefully you got that out of the session. And then the part 3 of OneDrive, we're going to go into a bit more detail, including how to use the traditional Office apps instead of the web apps that we talked about here.